everyone. IMS welcomes you all to the webinar series, The B-School Insider, all you need to know about your dream school. And I'm your host, Kalyani, for this series. So today we will be talking about JBIMS, prep journey, campus life, placements and academics. And in this session, we will be discussing some of the key points such as the JBIMS journey of the panelists who have joined us today, the selection process, test prep tips, why choose JBIMS for MBA, who should pursue MSc Finance from JBIMS, who are the top recruiters visiting the campus, the placement process, the campus life, and more. So let's welcome our speakers today. We have Yash Sipani. He is from batch year 2024 MBA. MMS. So the course, those of you who are not aware of it, JBIMS has the MBA is MMS, is called MMS. But I'll be just for the common understanding, I'll just keep saying MBA. Okay, again, Yash Sipani from batch year 2024. He's from MMS MBA. Abhinandan Pandey, he's from batch year 2023. He's from MSc Finance. He's a senior associate at Praxis Global Alliance. We have Amol Nachune. He is a batch year 2023. He's also from MMS MBA. He's a senior manager at Kotak Mahindra Bank. And we have Shaunak Satpute. He's from batch year 2020, and he's also from MMS MBA. And he's a senior manager at Teach Mint. Yeah. All right. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here today for this session. So let's start from the beginning. So let's start from were you guys preparing for a CAT and then you guys went for CET? If that is how it was, how exactly did you schedule your prep? And of course, what kind of scores and all that. And plus, what were you studying before, as in your undergraduation? What was your background? And were you having work experience when you applied for JBIMS, or were you a fresher? So yeah, we can start from the current batch. From the Yash is from the current. Yeah. So Yash, you can start. Then we can go to Amol, then Abhinandan, and then Shaunak. Yeah. Yash.
Hi everyone. Good morning. So regarding my preparation for CET, actually, like I had given CAT before, but I didn't score well during that time. So for my preparation of CET, I had it was going to happen around May or June in 2022. So I had started my prep around March. Being prepared with CAT, so I was well versed with the whole syllabus. So I just had to revise all the concepts and then just prepare for give mocks and then test myself. But the thing that happened was I had prepared for June and the dates had come for last week of June. But then in the first week of May, they say the exam has been postponed by 2 months. So that game changed for me completely. It became a test of my patience. So ऐसा हो गया था I had studied everything. I had been given mocks regularly. I am analyzing the mocks. I know what to do now. But now, what am I going to do for the next 2 months? So, in the first week of May, when I got to know, I completely stopped preparing because then it would have over escalated in my mind the same things. So yeah, I waited till June, I guess, and then I went on a trip. I went to Ladakh, came back from Ladakh, and then I started preparing again for my exam in August. So yeah, that's how I prepared for my exam consistently. After coming back, I consistently was given mocks, analyzing my test, I at that point I was at a good score. That is required to be scored in CET. So yeah, and one thing I had experience while giving my CET was that when I went to the center, everything was good. The system there was good, but my mouse was really bad. So I had to click that mouse 2-3 times just in order to click on that option. So if everybody is listening, I would request you to practice on a difficult mouse So like
Okay.
it can
Yeah.
give you a, yeah. And for CET, like I think of CET, I think so everyone is well versed with KBC, right? So
Hmm.
CET is something like fastest finger first. So like you have to be very quick and you have to answer everything correctly. So yeah,
Hmm.
something like that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And what was your background, and were you having a work experience? Yeah.
So yeah, my background is BCom. I have a completely commerce background. I have
Hmm.
never touched science after my 10th.
Okay.
And regarding my work ex, so like my brother has a startup. So I was working there for a few months. So I won't consider myself as a well-versed work experienced guy. Like I can consider
Okay.
myself as a fresher.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Yash. I'll get back to you with asking for some more tips on
Yeah, yeah.
the entire CT prep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next is Amol.
So hi, very good morning to all of you. So my background is I'm an engineer, and after that I had like 3 years of experience in cybersecurity and information security field. And I thought, no, this is not going somewhere. So I need to do something else also with my engineering degree. So I thought of giving CAT and CET. So I started preparing for CAT. But after preparing for CAT, I understood this fact that a lot of things are there, and I do not have time because I was working also. So then I focused on CET, and I thought only CET can save me now. Only getting into JBIMS can save me now. So I prepared for it like hell. Like, so I put my heart and soul into it. And due to pandemic in our time, CET got delayed. So I got extra 6 months for
Hmm.
preparation of CET.
Okay.
So that is actually, I guess, helped me to achieve my JBIMS dream, I would say. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I guess, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of our attendees will be in your shoes today. Yeah, okay. Yeah, great. Any particular tip? I'll come back to you anyway regarding the tip, but yeah, any particular tips?
Yeah, the tips like people start preparing for CET having have no idea how the the pattern of CET is. They have the preconceived notion of CAT. I have to take this question, I have to get the answer, and that's it. No, CET is not
Correct.
like that. You just have like 45 seconds to answer a particular question. So you need to solve the particular question in let's say 20-25 seconds to save the time. So you have to think first which question you have to solve and which question you have to pass. Just mark the answer and just go ahead, because you just can't like give away your time like that. So my first tip for all of you would be, just see the question. If you definitely know you can mark the answer, then only you give your time for the question. Otherwise, just click on next and go to another question. This will save a lot of time, and you can solve more questions correctly.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Abhinandan. Yeah, and so
Yeah.
Abhinandan, you are the only one from MSc Finance. So yeah, can you just take us through the entire thing of right from of course first of course your background,
Hmm.
your work experience, and of course why MSc Finance and how exactly the preparation is for that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 So hello everyone. So basically, I definitely, I believe majority of the test takers prepare for CAT and other entrance examinations, and that's how they. So I was also one of them. I prepared for CAT and IFT, SNAP, all the other exams. And back then, I was not even sure if I want to sit for CET per se because I'm a Mumbaiker. I know I've never lived a campus life. I wanted to get into one of those campuses where I can actually, go there, be with others, live a campus life for 2 years. Unfortunately, that did not happen.
Mm.
So but then later, so just to give a brief background before that, I have done my BMS, and I did BMS to understand my area of interest or specialization, and I turned up picking finance as specialization. And so basically, my thoughts aligned well. I also have a work experience of approximately 2 years as a research cum technical analyst. So again, into finance. So I was very clear that I'll definitely, even if I'm doing an MBA, I'll go for finance specialization. Later, after giving CAT, during that time also I was juggling between my job and preparation. It was a little difficult. So when I thought of basically, okay, I'll start preparing for CET because then I got to know that we have MMS, Masters in Finance program as well, which basically aligned with my thoughts. So I started preparing for CET. My concepts were pretty clear, but again, as Amog and Yash said, that it's a time game basically. It's basically race against time. You have 45 seconds to do your questions correctly, and you have to basically I understood that the speed, accuracy, and the ability to skip questions. These three things basically was something that I focused on. Post that, so I scored a 99.88 percentile, and then I thought of basic. So I had two things: go for an MBA or go for MSc Finance. All my thoughts aligning well into finance. I thought, all right, I'll give it a shot for MBA, MSc Finance.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my thought process.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Shaunak.
Hey, very good morning to all, and thank you to IMS for hosting this wonderful session. Again, I'm very happy to be here again, but for the ones who are new, I'll just start off with my background. I have done my engineering from MIT Pune, and immediately decided to go for my MBA after engineering for whatever obvious reasons most of the engineers have. Mainly because just summarizing those reasons and what particularly clicked for me with respect to an MBA was access to better opportunities, both in terms of obviously the monetary opportunities, the financial aspect of it, and along with that, a few better job profiles and good access to the kind of the top tier jobs out there, right? So those were very common reasons why I decided to pursue an MBA. Now, from where I wanted to do an MBA, I was very clear that there was a select few list of colleges in and around my hometown where I wanted to get into for my own reasons, which is where JBIMS made the perfect sense. And from the start, it was my dream college. It was where I wanted to be. There was no other place that I wanted to be apart from this institute. And I would be happy to share the reasons at a later stage of this call, right? Of what they were. But then I decided to take the CET. With respect to my preparation, I started around 4 to 6 months before the CET. I had attempted the CAT, but again, because I was focusing on this one particular institute, I was not hellbent about cracking the CAT, but I was more taking it to learn the concepts and get the know-how. So it is a very crucial thing to get the CAT right. I mean, get all the topics in and under the radar of CAT, right? So that's where I kind of brushed through the concept, and then I gave a dedicated around 4 to 6 months of preparation time for CET, wherein it was a fairly simple math that how many problems I can solve every day, how many questions I can solve every day, and get better at each of those questions. Because initially, let's say one question for me took around 5 minutes to solve, or like Amog mentioned and the rest of the panel also mentioned, I had to get that time down to 30 seconds. So yeah, that's about it. So that's my preparation. Summarizing my score, I got 99.99 percentile, and I managed to get a rank 6 in the exam. The score that year that I had scored was 153 out of 200 marks.
Okay, okay. All right. Thanks, Shaunak. Okay, Yash, can you tell us the major difference between the CAT prep and the CET prep, as in the paper and all that, and any particular tips? And please, Amog and Abhinandan, please pitch in. Yeah.
So for CAT, like it was a section wise thing, right? So CET is a combined test, while CAT it has been section wise. So like you have to get your sections strong. Like if you are not strong in quantitative, then you have to work really hard on your logical reasoning and verbal. So like that, I used to prepare myself like section. Like I used to the one I'm really good at, like logical reasoning. I used to work on it nicely. Then after working on it, I used to move on to quant and verbal so that I can be decent at that section. So that was my prep for CAT. And when I moved on to CET, the one thing I did was like sectional things won't work here. It is a combined paper. Any question can come at any time. So you have to be prepared in that way. So I used to give mocks only. Like I will give my mock, I will analyze. Then after giving the mock, I will spend 3 4 hours in analyzing that paper. I will look for my mistakes, like if I have done anything wrong, what can be done better here. I will list that down, then solve the paper again. And after doing this, I would move on to other mock. So in this way, I used to prepare myself in that 2 to 3 months time.
Okay. Okay. Tell me something. How's the difficulty of questions in CET compared to CAT?
ET is comparatively easy as compared to CAT.
Okay.
That was my experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me something now regarding the selection process to JB. For MMS MBA, you guys, it's based on the CET score, right? Yeah. But Abhinandan, for MSc Finance, is there an interview and all that? Like the whole process is like another B school. Is that true?
Yeah,
And so then, can you just tell us the process there for the selection process? Because there's somebody who's also there's a question about it. Can you please speak about how to go for MBA Finance? Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, for the MSc Finance programs, just like any other B schools, even we follow a well-rounded approach, wherein a select bunch of students for MSc is selected. So what happens is, first CET takes place after the results are out. The MSc Finance application forms are rolled out, and and then people basically fill their forms, and around 400 people are shortlisted. So eventually, when I joined that back then we had 30 seats for MSc Finance, but it was basically increased to 40 in the previous year. So now we have 40, so 10 more intakes. Yeah, so applications are basically shortlisted. Eventually, for the application, they'll look at your CT score, your academics, your extracurricular activities, work experience, and there's a 5% weightage given to diversity as well. But the majority weightage of around 60% is given to your CET score. So someone who's scoring a really good percentile of around 99.9 or 88 can easily go through, get through at least the application shortlisting round. Once that is done, then around 400, 450 students are called for GDPI VAT. When I basically appeared for GDPI VAT, it was a 3-day process, but then because it was online. But now, since it's offline, it all these processes takes place in a day itself. And for the GDPI VAT, it's basically just how others prepare for it.
And what were the kind of questions that were asked for
In the PI?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And even for the GD topics, yeah. I mean, was it
so
related
GD.
to finance
Mhm.
topic, something related to current affairs and all, maybe the budget and all that, or was it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So GD and VAT topics basically are very diverse. So they can be very specific to, they can range to very abstract topic. So like abstract is like they'll just give a name of some thing and you have to write or maybe speak about it. So it can be abstract, which is like expected because you are required to brainstorm, think, put your thoughts in a very presentable manner so that it flows well. So that is all they want to basically check here. For the PI, they essentially look after your profile. If you I was a BMS grad with a finance specialization and an approximate 2 years of work experience into technical analysis. So basically, when that happens, they expected from me that I should know certain nuances of finance, such as if they are talking about a manufacturing firm, why so and so ratios are used for this manufacturing firm, or what should be the EBITDA for these, what is basically the industry EBITDA, and so on and so forth. But if I talk about a fresher, let's say a BCom fresher or an engineering fresher, they would at least try to check what have they done in the past. Do they have a convincing reason for anything that they have done? If someone is a very academic heavy guy, so why did they not participate into extracurricular? Do you have a convincing reason or an answer for that? So the same way, and also one important peculiar thing, if someone's focusing on MSc Finance, is that you need to show the panelists that you are keen in learning finance, because on the first day itself you're deciding, you're basically writing a fate that you're submitting yourself to learning finance. So definitely you have to ensure that if you want the panelists to know that you are learning or if you want to get into finance, a basic knowledge of finance, a base like at least understanding the terminologies that we use, or what are the 3 basic financial statements that we look at for a company and other things. Those basically are something that can help. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's take a few questions. Somebody is asking, can non-Maharashtrian student get into JBIMS? I'm Marathi, but I've completed my education in Hyderabad. Who can answer? Amok, you want to answer? Amok, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
See, you have done your graduation in Hyderabad, so they will not consider you as a Maharashtra student. So they have two categories. So in my times, maybe it is still there. The seat matrix is like that. 102 seats are for Maharashtra students. 18 seats are for all India students. So total there are 120 seats. And there are other seats which are from NRI quota or citizens of people working in Gulf countries. So yes, you can appear for CET, aim for those 18 seats, but they will still consider you as all India student. They will not consider you as Maharashtra student.
Okay. Yeah. What about interview VAT and do they all take that? Okay, they don't for MMS MBA, they don't, right? Okay. Does JBIMS take applications with zero experience, that is freshers? They do. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, they do. Okay. Is that okay if I do MBA after MSc mathematics? Abhinandan, I think, do you think,
Yeah,
that kind of a profile might get,
yeah, yeah. So definitely, because if someone's looking at doing a major in finance, a lot of stuff, specifically, let's talk about, like, we had subjects. In fact, MMS Finance also had the subject econometrics, quantitative methods, which is basically used and practically also used in many of the fields. Okay, so definitely it could be a good option to go for. In fact, the last year, I had one of my batchmates who was a master's in research, I guess, from ICER. Yeah. So definitely, I think if someone's thoughts are aligned well for finance, then I think it will go hand in hand. I mean, others
Tell
can chip
me,
in if you think the same.
tell me something, is it mandatory to have work experience for admission to MBA finance or do they take fresher?
No, no, no. Even zero experience guys are also
Okay.
basically accepted. So it's all about how you make your profile, how well your profile is, and how well your GD/VAT PI goes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. How to choose which MBA specialization to choose? Ishana, can you answer this?
Okay, which MBA specialization to choose? Okay, so the JBIMS particularly, and I think most of the institutes wherein the question around specialization comes, right? So that comes mostly in the second year. So the first year is a generic MBA, wherein you get exposure to all the different specializations that are there. Few of the common ones, including marketing, finance, operations, and some exposure to HR as well. And apart from that, the newer ones that are coming, right? So you get exposure in the first year to all different kinds of courses that are there out there, particularly for GPMS. And in the second year, you get to choose which one you want to opt for. Now, how to come about this, right? So firstly, if you are not sure about the specialization and you just want to get into an MBA college, then you can probably take the first year of your MBA to select what you want to do in the future. But if you are like very curious that why should I even go for an MBA, if that is the question in your mind, which is when the question of a specialization comes before an MBA, right? So you can just think of like what you want to do, what are the kind of roles, both let's say in a job in the job market, or if somebody is from an entrepreneurial mindset, in future what kind of roles do they want to target, what are the kind of industries that they want to target to work in. Based on those roles and industries, which is the nearest specialization that you can get to those kind of roles. For me individually, it was very clear that I wanted to do something related to marketing, which is why I had gone for that. Similarly, in JBIMS, we get a lot of profiles where the students are very clear that they want to do something in finance, and that's when you choose your subject.
All right.
It's a
Yeah.
very clear answer. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about academics now at JBIMS. So we'll obviously we'll take it again in two portions, MSc Finance and MMS. So for MMS, Yash, can you talk about a little bit more about the academics bit? And Shona, can Amuk please pitch in? We'll then talk about the clubs and committees and all that. Yeah. Okay. So Yash, can you talk about like how exactly it is scheduled and when do you select the electives? Do you have bidding and all that?
So
And yeah.
yeah, so like it is a dual 2 years course, so it is
Mhm.
divided into 4 semesters. like in the first year, all the general topics will be covered. First semester will have your basics of accounts, then there will be basics of operations, marketing. Mostly all the specializations that JBIMS offers, it will cover the basics of those subjects in the first year. Then in second year, it will advance a little bit more, like things like corporate finance or marketing applications. Such subjects will operations research. Such subjects will come in. Like in the first year, all the general topics are covered. Even HR will be included in as human resource management and organization behavior in different subjects in 2 semesters. So in the first year, this all will be there. Then after your first year is completed, you have the options to select your specializations, which are divided into finance, marketing, operations, human resources, and systems. But mostly, every student that comes into GBIMS, they opt for either finance and marketing, and some opt for operations. Like mostly nobody goes into HR or systems because already JBIMS offers another course for
Yes,
that is
yeah.
MHRD. So everybody like finance, marketing, and operations. And then the lectures are divided accordingly. Like finance people will have around 6 subjects that will be focusing on finance and 2 common subjects that will be shared among all the specialization. So those 2 common subjects will be strategic management and like strategic cost management. Such subjects will be there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how the course curriculum there. And for the lectures, like lecture schedule isn't fixed for every day. Like we get to know what all lectures are going to be there a day before. So yeah, like it can happen any day. Even for some Sundays we go to college. You
But you
do
get
like
enough time to do other things, extracurriculars
yeah,
and
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
it being a management institute, you have to manage time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So in lectures and then in committee work,
You should
so
answer that
you
question
get the habit of that.
Correct. Yeah, Shaunak, you were saying something.
Yeah. I said I think you should answer that question honestly. I don't think he's being completely honest there.
Yes,
But
yes. Please answer this question honestly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, yeah, did you guys get
so,
enough
I
time?
would just add to it. In the
Uh,
first year, you are completely jam packed. I mean, you can do extracurricular things, but it comes at a
yeah,
cost. It comes at a cost of some, let's say, some lower marks in some academic subject, or probably
Okay.
a lesser. Yeah. Overall, in the first year is very hectic. Second year, you definitely get time.
Yeah, okay. So second year is more chill, basically.
Yeah. Second year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Abhinandan, can you and also, okay, Abhinandan, do you think, just as an opinion, that you guys have to study more than the MS students?
Uh, I don't, I mean, it definitely varies as to
Yeah, a very
someone.
difficult question to be asked.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't think
Okay,
there's
yeah.
a comparable to it. But
Okay.
yeah, someone getting into finance or engineering fresher definitely will have to put in maybe 2x the amount of what I would put, because I am already aware of the finance world and the
Correct,
finance
yeah.
jargons and other stuff. So at least I have the basics. So yeah, it varies candidate to candidate. Yeah, and in terms of academics, so yeah, as
So
Yash,
yeah, the subjects and
yeah.
all, how different are those? Yeah.
Yeah, so as Yash mentioned, so again, like 4 semesters, overall we study around 31 subjects. And in the first year, essentially, it is more about building the basics, because someone, like we get all sorts of students coming together for the MSc Finance course. So it's very important that everyone is aligned, and the people who are joining afresh right from after this undergrad at least have the basic sense of finance. So we initially start with understanding the accounting, basics of accounting, taxation, corporate finance, corporate governance, investment banking. So that forms it helps us at least form the basic. And then in the second year, we delve much deeper. And then we have econometrics, quantitative methods in the first semester itself. Then derivatives, structured finance, project financing, and infrastructure, behavioral finance. So then we delve a little much more into learning certain nuances of finance. We do share an MMS Finance and MSc Finance both share few subjects are common as well. So in the first year, we have around three subjects which are common: accounting, taxation, I believe. And in the second year, we have around 7, 8 subjects which are common. So yeah,
Okay, but tell me, how many subjects you have in total? 31.
31. Yeah, 31.
And you guys have got how many subjects?
It's around 35.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
Abhinandan, you guys won't be studying anything about operations and all that. Like, Yash was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, like, in the first semester, they're getting a hang of all things.
Yeah,
So, okay,
yeah,
so
it is
that's where
specific to finance only. Yeah. So in
very,
the
very
first year
sure.
we have a subject for business communication, and that's all which we study apart from finance. But apart from other than that, we have all these finance. I think one thing that should be covered is also we have research papers. I mean seminar papers. I think MMS Finance also follows that, wherein it actually helps someone who's doing a specialization or understanding a specialization, because you then have to choose a topic pertaining to your specialization,
Correct.
research about it, present it in each semester. So that
Okay.
helps you build and practically apply to what you're actually learning in theories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about some the clubs and committees. How are they? Are these different for like is JBIMS having a separate clubs and committees for the MMS program and separate for MSc Finance and separate for all the programs? So how does it work? Which all other clubs and committees that you guys were member of? So maybe Amog and Shaunak, you guys can talk about the clubs and committees overall. What are the ones and what were the ones that you guys were part of? And are you still part of those once you graduate from the B school? And Yash is smiling all and I don't know what was that. Yeah. So Yash, can you just throw some light on that too? Like how much of the alums are involved? Yeah. Okay. So let's start first with Amog and Shaunak, and Yash, you can add. And Abhinandan, yeah, please tell us about the different. And of course, all of you can take turns on telling about your clubs and committees. Yeah. Amog and Shaunak. Yeah.
Yeah, so there are three core clubs in JBIMS. One is Finance Club, one is Operation Club, and one is Consulting Club. And we were about to start one more club, which was like a podcast club, but the idea is still under the pipeline. So maybe in upcoming years, you'll see a JBIMS podcast probably. So
Okay.
that was the idea back then. So there are three major clubs, as I mentioned: Consulting Club, Finance Club, and Operations Club.
Okay.
So yeah, so after getting into institution, the first thing which happens is your induction, and after that the selection procedure will begin for committees, and after that the selection procedure will begin for clubs, different clubs that I mentioned. So firstly, the hierarchy, like how the selection procedure happens, is there are different filters according to different committees, but the main committee that we all the MBA is all about, or the main committee that people focus more on, is the placement committee. So the selection probably begin with that particular committee, and after that the selection happens for all the respective committees accordingly. So maybe Shaunak can tell us more about the committee selections.
Oh, and you were part of the placement committee, right? No.
Yeah.
Amog?
No. I
Part
was
of the
part of
alumni committee.
alumni committee.
Alumni. Oh, yeah, Shaunak. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was part of the alumni committee. I think I was.
Okay.
So about the committees, right? So you can just check the entire list of committees that is there available on the website as. But just to give an overview, few of the most sought after, around the first question that you had, I think, Kalyani, MMS has its own committees and MSc Finance has their own committees. So for the MMS, I would like to talk the MBA course. The most sought after committees are your placement committee, alumni committee, and the others that are the kind of the top committees across all institutes for their own reasons.
Okay.
The selection process goes on for around a week, at least for the placement committee, and for the rest also it is a similar kind of a timeline. Again, each of the committees based on their own objectives and kind of profiles that they want for their work to be done, they shortlist your applications, and then they give you multiple tasks which are very interesting to kind of do, and then eventually you get into those committees, and whatever happens is
So
whatever
they
happens.
might even reject you after if they don't like whatever activity you did.
Correct.
Huh?
So it is
Oh.
so it is an election as well as a selection process depending on each year.
Okay.
There are slight variations in the process, right? So there are so let's say you get 100 applications for one particular committee. Eventually, the committee that is formed is of around anywhere around 10 to 12 members. So that's how it comes.
Okay. Yeah. So are you guys still actively in?
Yeah, so I individually, it's an individual call. Amog, I am pretty sure is actively part of the alumni committee. Last year, he organized a spectacular event in Bangalore for all the alums that are based out of Bangalore. So
Okay.
that's done, and I think the most of the members try to stay in touch with their committee members, and if there are any doubts, concerns, if there is something that needs to get done with the help of alums, the alums definitely support the committee at a later stage.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Which clubs and committees you are part of?
So I am part of the alumni committee itself.
Okay.
So the only reason I was smiling was Samog is my immediate senior, na? So right, still like we consider him as a part of the committee, because if I face any issues or I have any questions, I directly go to him or another senior of mine. So yeah, that's why when you said like if you are still part of that committee, that's why I was smiling.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Abhinandan, MSc
Uh,
Finance.
yeah, yeah. So MSc Finance basically have four committees. So one is the placement committee. Then we have a Backbay Times committee. So basically, it's a weekly newsletter which is published, and basically it covers all the news of the finance domain in the previous week. So each week a newsletter is published, and then we have a PR committee, and then also there's a student academic committee which is definitely required to schedule all the lectures. And then I believe the alumni committee is now merged of all the three courses.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, like as Shaunak said, definitely I agree with him. The most sought after committee is the placement committee. Majorly people want to apply for that, and the selection process runs for almost a week. And the other things that Shaunak said, yeah.
So you were part
I
of the
was
placement committee.
I was a part of the
You
placement
were
committee.
part of the
Yeah.
placement committee. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is there any student exchange program at JB? Any?
No,
No.
no.
No. Okay.
there's no-
Okay. Okay. Let's take a few questions. If my specialization in graduation is in marketing, can I choose finance and MSc or MBA?
Yeah, you like finance, you can choose finance or
Okay.
MMS, definitely.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
So for the MSc bit, if you're able to convince the panelist, because of basically making a shift from marketing to finance, and if you're able to convince the panelist, then you can definitely. Also, like you should be clear with the idea that you definitely want to get into finance. Yeah.
Okay, okay. What requirement or profile? Okay, this is I don't think anybody would be able to answer any HR related. It's the other program. So we unfortunately we don't have a speaker from on our panel, but we can get back to you on this. Okay, I'm in second year of PBA. Which year of CET as well as CAT exam should I target? Anybody?
So like right now in second year of BBA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think so, yeah, like as you get into third year of BBA, you can start preparing for CAT. So as soon as you are done with your BBA, immediately all the selection process will start for CAT. Through CAT will happen. So immediately, like as soon as you're done with your undergrad, you get into a grad PG.
Okay. Okay. If someone applies for MSc Finance and if his or her profile gets rejected after PI or GB, will he or she be able to apply for MMS, MBA in JBIMS in the same year? Can somebody answer? Amo, can you answer? Abhinandan, can you answer? Yeah. Or Shaunak, yeah.
No, but there are different application processes to be done. So MSc application process is to be done by JBIMS website only, and the CET application process for MMS is done by our CET cell. So these are
Okay.
two completely different application processes with
Hmm.
different application timelines, I would say.
Okay.
So
So
it is not like
Abhinandan,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Abhinandan.
No, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as Amok said, I
Huh.
agree with him. And I think the processes or the admission processes run simultaneously for both the courses. So if
Okay.
you're rejected from here, and if you already get your name, because basically here it's a GDVAT PI process, then you get the shortlisting, right?
Hmm.
And for the MMS Finance, if you scored a certain percentile, then you are there, right?
Okay.
So there's a difference. If you already have a 99.99, then you will have your name in the merit list. If not, if you're applied for MSc Finance, then you have to wait for the entire process to get over. And then by the time that process gets over, the MMS Finance, I mean MMS admissions are almost done, and then
Hmm.
the admission starts. Yeah. So I don't
Okay.
think it's possible. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So maybe, they can then start all over again in the next year and can decide whether to go for this or that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So let's get into the next bit then about internships and all. So yeah, okay. For internships, can you, Yash, can you take us through the internship process? When does it start? How, what, and all that? And Abhinandan, you'll have to tell us also about whether are these, so for MSc Finance, is the internship, the companies, the everything is absolutely separate right from the internship level till the placement, or is it at the same time, or since you also have a separate placement committee, I'm guessing both the programs must be having separate recruiters and also, yeah, how does it work? So while you talk about your internship process, if you can just also put in these information. Yeah,
Sure.
Yash, before you start, and Amuk, please pitch in on the internship process and all. Yeah, so Yash, can you start with your internship process and all that?
Uh,
And also, you can tell us a little bit about your own journey as well, the internship and how it is.
so yeah, so like for me, like as soon as I got into college and our induction got over, the internship process had started actually. Because like for me, I got into college a bit late due to CET exam being postponed. So yeah, like it starts with your CV making. You have to make your CV first, your resume. As soon as that is done, then it is sent to companies. Then the company form starts rolling out, like day by day or weekly. You have to fill those forms for the particular company of your interest. Then, according that through that form, you will get your shortlisting. Then also pre-placement talks for different companies happen during time. As in company come like give tell everything about their internship process. Everything, all the details are included. And after all of this is done, then there comes the placement week, wherein all the companies come for selection. So yeah, all this happens during that process. And as when and where you get your short list for the company, you go and might have to give their online assessment for the company. Through that, you might get your short list, or the company might take a group discussion, GD. Through that, you might get your shortlist, or some companies directly go into personal interviews, like they conduct different rounds for your personal interviews. So through this, the whole selection process happens. Personally, for me, being a fresher, I didn't have that good of a background, so it was a bit difficult for me to prepare my CV and to get shortlists. But like around ninth or 10th day of a placement week, I was able to convert my personal interview into I was able to convert my internship. Like I was placed at National Payment Corporation of India, NPCI. So yeah, like my internship was there like between April to June, and yeah, it was a wonderful experience. Like
Okay.
the whole culture there, the people working there, yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah. So now, yeah, Abhinandan, if you can take
Yeah.
us through the entire, right from internship to placement process for MSc Finance. And then Amog and Shaunak, you guys can talk about the placement process. Amog, you can take the placement process bit and tell us a little bit about your placement experience. And Shaunak, you can take us through your experience. Yeah, Abhinandan.
So I believe the process part was pretty much clearly.
Okay, it's the
Uh,
same one,
yeah,
same
yeah, by Yash, but
same timeline and everything.
no, yeah. So I'll be specifically talking about the
Huh.
timelines because
Huh.
certain companies we have which only specifically comes for MSc Finance, and the
Mhm.
same is the case for MBA as well. And
Okay.
there are few companies which basically have intakes from both the courses.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so whichever company, which basically common companies that both the courses sit for, are
Mhm.
basically taken up in the placement week. And
Mhm.
apart from that, then we basically have rolling companies wherein we keep setting specific dates when the companies can come, and then the interviews takes place. Now, this pattern is followed for the final as well as the summer internship program.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think, and about the process about the shortlisting process, sitting for a GD or sitting for a assessment test and the
Mhm.
other things, similar things follows say, as well.
Okay. Can you
Yeah,
talk about your experience, your from
yeah,
internship
yeah.
to your placement experience?
Yeah, so I interned at Goldman Sachs, and so basically, since it was a common company, it
Mhm.
came for both MMS and MSc Finance, and I still remember our interviews took place at around 4:30 in the morning, 4:35 in the morning. Yeah, just
Okay.
the hustle of a V school. But yeah, it was a wonderful experience, definitely sitting for those
Okay.
2.5 hours for like continuous 4 5 rounds, getting those results that all finally have
Mhm.
made those for 2 3 hours, and the
Yeah.
remaining the previous part of your time where you actually prepared for it, and
Mhm.
so it feels good. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's how the internship process was. We had around so I just so basically the forms were ruled out, filled the forms, got the short lists. The dates and the times were decided as to when the interview will take place. Around 5 to 6, 4 to 5 rounds of interview, and then basically the results are then basically given immediately.
Okay.
Similarly, for the final placement process, we follow the same procedure, just as an internship, that we have certain common companies we sit together. For companies that are coming separately for both the courses, we then have our own
Okay.
timeline set. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, and then how did your present
Yeah.
position? Yeah. How did that
So,
happen? Yeah.
so Praxis was one of the companies that was the earliest recruiter from MSc Finance,
Okay.
and yeah, so they were basically looking for financial consulting sorts of thing,
Mhm.
and that's why they had a criteria to only cater to MSc Finance students.
Okay.
So that happened. We had basically a placement talk, followed by a few connect with the people, because just to get ourselves aligned with how things work in consulting, and preparing for your case preps and other things.
Yeah.
Post that, then we had two rounds of case interviews followed by a management round.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Tell me something. This is for all of you. As in, if somebody gets a PPO from during internship and would not like, but still like to sit for the final placement, is it possible? Like, if they're not happy with, or yeah, something. Yeah. Can they? Amok, can you answer this? Or Shanak?
Sure, I don't know.
Huh.
I think not sure what the process this year is.
Mm.
While our time, at least, it was a policy that
Mm.
if anybody gets a PPO,
Mm.
mostly, I mean, people just want to get out of the placement process and they just want to stick to the
Uh,
PPO.
uh,
Rarely we find cases where people are not happy with their offer, uh,
mm.
and they want to get the better offer than what they have.
Mm.
So
Mm.
there is a very simple policy when it comes to someone rejecting a PPO,
Mm.
so that it is fair to all the other students that year. What the campus policy is that the student is eligible to apply for only a better company than the
What
company
they have been
PPO
offered.
that he has
Mm.
rejected. And how is
Mm.
the better company decided? Number
Okay.
one, based on the salary that the company is offering. So if the
Okay.
person rejects the PPO based on the salary, that he's not happy with the salary, he is only
Mm.
let's say eligible to apply for companies that have a higher the salary than the that he has rejected, or if he rejects for based on a role, then he is ineligible for all the roles that are related to the role that he has. So
Okay.
these are the two
Amok,
very simple questions
is that
that
how it is even now?
Yeah, so in our times also the policies
Kind
were
of.
kind of similar what Shaunak said. But yeah, you can do it. But people generally don't opt for that option because people generally want to enjoy their last semester. So they have the
Yeah.
PPO, so they have the confirm kind of thing that
Yeah.
they get the job. So
Correct.
generally they don't
True.
switch unless they want to change the role, or maybe they are experienced and they want, see this type of salary I could have gotten even if I
Correct.
have not done the MBA. So maybe probably like Shaunak mentioned, for the higher salaries or for the change of role, probably the only two options that people get.
Right. Okay. Okay. Amok, can you talk about your placement experience and Shaunak? Then after that, you can talk about. Yeah, Amok.
Yeah, so
And
I
also,
would
if anything specific to the placement process for for the MMS MBA.
Okay, so like Yash mentioned, the processes that we follow in internship placements are kind of similar with the final placements. We also have a week. We also need to develop the CV. So placement committee helps us to build our CV, to make us all understand what are the particular formats of the CVs, and they kind of sit there and just properly execute our CV building skills and all.
Yeah.
Once that is done, a company comes, a Google form opens, and if you want to apply for the company, you can apply. A company also comes for pre-placement talks. So there are sessions with the executives of companies, HRs of companies, where they come, they show us how what their company is doing, what the role is all about, what is the compensation that you can get, what is the culture of the company and all. So after pre-placement talks, they open the form, people fill in the forms, and we have a dedicated placement week for our placements. So generally based on our background, our CV shortlisted, our CV gets shortlisted, and then interview is done. So like Abhinandan mentioned, that few companies will have GD and PI round, few companies will have only PI rounds, where few companies, if they are, let's say for investment banking, if JPMC comes, so JPMC comes with assessment. So you will have to give a financial assessment, then there is GD, then there is PI, then there are 3-4 rounds of interviews that happens. So particularly myself, if I consider, so my placement process was, I would say, it was kind of a very smooth for me. It happened smooth for me. So I just gave, I would say, there were like 3 rounds of PIs, and after 3 rounds of PIs, after a point, they announced that yeah, I'm shortlisted, so I got the job. So for me, it was a very smooth process. So I would say, for everyone out there in JBIMS, the process is smooth if you follow certain things and certain etiquettes, I would say.
Okay. And what are those? As in, can you talk about it?
No, so generally, placement committee will give you guidelines or few things about companies, or if anything is to be told, then you have to do certain things.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
yeah, because only placement committee knows what type of intake this company is aiming. So
Correct.
placement committee is kind of push us to do our best, I would say. So if you do that, then the chances of getting hired, I would say, would increase.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Shweta, can you just talk about your how did teachment happen? Was that later on, or what was your internship and then placement?
I'll just capture my journey quickly. So I think the process part, most of the people have spoken.
Yeah.
One thing that I would like to share with the aspirants is that process ka ho jayega. The people in the college take care, your seniors take care of it. There is no issue. Just focus on your own profile building and so on. So it is not a huge thing how the process happens, and I mean whether what is the number of companies come and all that. That all of that is taken care of. What you need to do is build your own profile and kind of stand out so that your dream company selects. So just a bit about what all companies I have worked in while I was in JBIMS and after. So I've done my summer internship with Unilever. So I've done that in the sales and marketing function. I had a great time over there. So again, it was a very kind of a dream company for most of the people to join, whoever wants to get into marketing, kind of look forward to get into the company. So I had a great time over there. Thankfully, I landed on a strategy project in Unilever, which is when I kind of felt that more than marketing, strategy is something that I want to do, which is when I decided that I want to get into consulting at that point. So now one mode of getting into companies is something that other panelists I think missed to discuss. Apart from the standard placement process in JBIMS, there are competitions also that happen across, right? So my own placement journey is in that manner. I did not go through the standard placement process for the final. For the summer internship, it was a standard process. For the finals, I went through a competition. So PwC, wherein I did my first job. So they had their national competition, and our team won that competition for that particular year. We were the national winner, based on which we got a pre-placement interview, which then we converted into PPO. So it is a very kind of lucrative opportunity for the students who are more proactive in these competitions and so on, to get into their dream companies through these competitions. So there are numerous examples in my batch as well as our juniors who kind of went into companies through these campus competitions, these case competitions. So that is one approach of it, and my personal journey as well. So I did consulting for some time, for around 2 years. Then again, the startup bug bit me in the entire this thing. So what is going on in the current startup ecosystem is something that I wanted to explore, which is how Teachment happened. And my current company is an edtech startup wherein I'm.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks, Chanak. Yeah. Okay. Before we get into the campus live glances, pictures about from the campus, let's take a few questions. Okay. There are some people who are talking about, like, any CET tips, CET prep tips. Of course, there's already given CET prep tips. What am I going to do? But now, is there anything specific? Yash, can you just talk about, like, maybe in the next few days, like right now I think there is what, 40 days to CET if the dates does not shift around. So around 40 days left for CET. So is there anything to do for good scores?
So right now, only thing you should do is give mocks and analyze those. Like you shouldn't shift to another topic and strengthen your like strengthen on that topic. Just give mocks and analyze those. Like that is the only way you will get to know about your mistakes, and you will be very familiar with the format. And also, what I used to do was I used to give my mocks in the afternoon time, like just after eating my lunch. So like I get very sleepy after eating my lunch. So I used to test myself and give my mocks at that time, like sitting straight for 150 minutes and attempting all 200 questions. So that's what I used to do. And then like I will give my mock. The next day I will analyze the whole thing. And again, the next day I will give another mock. So that's what I used to do.
Okay. Abhinandan, there is a question. Is CFA course helpful to get selected in MSc Finance?
It will be, I mean, I cannot say that it will definitely be a short thing for you to get into MSc Finance, because it is more about even if you're doing a CFA, that definitely shows that you're keen in learning finance. But are you able to explain those, I mean, questions, or at least answer those questions, or explain those terms and jargons to the panelist? So essentially, it's all about trying to convince, because I have seen Zero Work X, a general engineer guy or a girl getting into MSc Finance, versus I've seen someone with a finance background, maybe a year of experience, getting rejected as well. So if you're unable to convince the panelists, then definitely there's no way that you can get into the MSc Finance course. So it is more so about ensuring that you have whatever base you're trying to build, just have a good hold over it, and you just showcase that in front of them. And apart from that, but yeah, if you are a CFA student learning, I mean, doing a CFA course, this will help you in your academics in a much better way, because you'll already have a good grasp over the concepts that we learn, and that will help you, cope with, and at least you'll be able to set yourself in a better position compared to the other guys.
Correct. Can you tell us something about CMAT? So there is a question. There was one question somewhere. Yeah, about CMAT as well. So is CMAT, if CET was not good, if CMAT, should they sit for CMAT, and how different the prep for CMAT is?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
answer this question.
Uh-huh.
So through CMAT, you are eligible to apply for all India seats. As I mentioned, there are 18 all India seats, and the pattern of CMAT is different. So there are four sections. The fourth section is general knowledge section. So there are 25 questions on each section. So quant is 25, verbal is 25, logical reasoning is 25, and general knowledge is 25.
Okay.
And each question holds 4 marks. So total CMAT is of 400 marks, and there is negative marking. So this is the basic
Correct.
difference. So if you get a question right, then it is +4. If you get it wrong, then it is -1. So to understand the CMAT, you have to have the habit of reading things, and people generally follow different notes of UPSC people. Like UPSC people have all PDFs of monthly general knowledge important points. So CMAT aspirants generally have the booster of all the last 2 years, I would say, and the current happenings all around the world and in India, and that is the way you can crack the CMAT. But again, to apply to JBIMS through CMAT for all India seats, I would say the cutoff is 99.99 or 99.98, I would say. So aim for the best, I would say. Try to solve all the questions. And the difficulty of CMAT is kind of lower than CAT and CET. You have a lot of time. You have 3 hours. You have 3 hours to solve just 100 questions. So I would say if you are trying to get JBIMS through that route, definitely solve all questions correct in quant, solve all questions correct in verbal, and pick questions from general knowledge that you definitely know are right, because you just cannot be dicey in general knowledge. Whether President of India is the Draupadi Murmu or not, there is a definitely answer to the question. So just follow some UPSC guru notes, and then you can be good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So this
Yeah,
is your
so
committee.
yeah, this is all my committee folks, the
Okay.
alumni committee members. This is again, we had to do a photo shoot for our directory.
Okay.
Directory that we publish, the alumni committee publishes and gives to all the alums. So yeah,
Okay.
this is for that. Then the next photo I will say, yeah, this is one of our classrooms, the room number 31. So actually, this is just before our exams, first semester exams were going to happen. So what we did, like we were into college to submit one of our seminar papers, submission. So like most of the people were coming from a long distance, like from Malad or Borivali, that way. So they were like, अब वापस कौन जाएगा, यहीं 2 दिन में एग्जाम है, वापस ट्रैवल में टाइम कौन वेस्ट करेगा, यहीं बैठ के पढ़. So we just captured one of the rooms in our campus and just started solving sums and explaining each other on the board. So this was that. Then this particular photo was during like I was in, this was into the month I was got selected into the alumni committee. So our induction was going on for the committee. And like I was very happy when the selection happened and everything. But as soon as we got into the work, I was like, बहुत ज़्यादा ही stress है ये, इतना काम होता है वहाँ पे. So that situation has developed. So I just asked my friend, ki, like, just please click my photo like this, just to remember. Yeah, I had gone through that phase. And this was during Nostalgia. So this is one of our flagship events. So wherein this is a proper alumni meet that happens in Mumbai every year, wherein we felicitate the Golden Jubilee batch, the 50 years batch, the Silver Jubilee batch, and the Decade batch. And for this particular Nostalgia, it had happened after 3 years due to COVID. So it was comparatively big as compared to previous Nostalgia. So wherein we had felicitated total 9 batches, 3 Golden Jubilee, 3 Silver Jubilee, and 3 Decade batch. So this is a photo of all the alumni committee members at that time and also from previous years. So this is one of those photos, and Amog had shared one of his photos. So yeah, this is the one. This
Okay,
is
yeah.
our immediate, like my immediate seniors, MOOCs committee, and we have our director, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically this is my batch
Ah, okay. Yeah.
in the JB formals.
MSc Finance, yeah.
Um, so this was a concluding lecture. So he's like, I think everyone knows him very well. The beloved Dr. Durgesh Tenekar sir. And this was the concluding lecture. So we just had a cake cutting ceremony and just a class picture. It was one of the classrooms. I think it's classroom 29 or so. Yes, I think 15. Sorry,
It's 15.
classroom
Yeah, yeah,
15.
I can see the bench.
Yes, yeah,
Only 15, only
classroom
a
15.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we had a traditional day celebration. So this
Okay.
basically I have MHRD and MSc Finance.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, you can see the new updated
Yeah.
Jawaharlal Bajaj board as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Updated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Amok, you had something to show, or yeah,
No,
sure.
I
Yeah.
sent the
Yeah.
photo to Yash.
Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, so before we wrap up, let's talk about like, okay, firstly, what is so unique about JBIMS? Like, why did you choose, or what is so unique about JBIMS? What makes it, one of the top B schools to go to or to aspire for? So maybe, yeah, Shaunak, you can start your answering, and Abhinandan, you can talk about from the MSc Finance, but like, why did you choose, or what is so unique about MSc Finance program among all the other MBA in finance and specialization MBA in finance in other B schools and all that. Yeah, so next is Abhinandan, and then Yash and Amol, you guys can probably talk about something to do with CET prep and life, how to sit for interviews, interview tips and all that. Yeah, okay. Shaunak.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So finally, one question that I'm like very passionate about to answer, because it's talking great things about my college and my alma mater. But yeah, I list down a few great points about JBIMS that are very commonly available information. But again, a great alumni network, number one. So now, how this alumni network is supposed to help me as a recent graduate out of the campus? So there are vast number of alumni that are spread across multiple levels in different organizations, right? So right from the CXO levels, right at the boards of companies like a Unilever or the like, as well as the mid-level management who are kind of the at a manager level, the persons of somebody of my nature who has recently graduated, or even at the lower level in companies or the freshers in companies, right? So there is a vast network of alums across companies. That is one of the strongest points out there. Again, how this network helps me in the colleges, there are a great set of academicians as well as industry experts who visit the college willingly and impart wisdom to the students in the college, right? So the 2 years at JBIMS, you have a great set of faculty who kind of guide you apart from just your regular lectures, right? To choose the right course to kind of get into the right field as well as learn the concepts of that field. So the great alum, great faculty, a good exposure to opportunities, right? So you get access to various types of opportunities, both in terms of placements as well as in terms of other networking opportunities that you look for. So these are very common points that are available. Again, few very tactical points that are also available. This is a freely available information is that uh, a a great ROI, like very less fees compared to the other institutes, right? So to the other institutes, very less fees, and you get similar levels of placement. So great ROI is also another aspect
Yeah.
that goes into a decision. But what
Okay.
makes JBIMS stand out and what is so unique about the college, right? And something that also kind of clears concerns of few of the members that are attending this call is I particularly feel that JBIMS is a redeemer kind of an institute. So A redeemer is something that kind of gets you out of whatever sins you have done in the past, right?
Mhm.
So JBIMS is a college, or CET, the process itself is an exam that does not care about where you come from. You have done your engineering, you have done your BBA, anything you have done, you have not scored well in one particular subject, you have lower kind of marks in your graduation, you did not manage to score well in your 10th, 12th exams, and so on. You don't have a work X, you have a gap of whatever X number of years, or whatever may be the case. There is one exam you have to attempt, you have to clear that exam, and then you have to get into your dream college, which gives you access to all these opportunities.
Correct.
There is
Yeah.
no other institute, at least in India, that kind of gives you this access irrespective of your background.
Correct.
That is
Yeah.
something, owing to the process of the college, that kind of differentiates JBI from others, I would.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Abhinandan. Yeah. MSc Finance, uniqueness of it, and why from JBIMS? How it gives you a edge.
Okay, so I think almost all the points
Mm.
that Shaunak mentioned, I think
Mm.
I 100% agree to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll keep myself specific to MSc Finance. So I think JBIMS is firstly JBIMS is known for its finance courses,
Mm.
and it is one of the few colleges which offered a focus course on finance. So someone who's very much interested or passionate about learning finance, one, JBMS is the destination where you would like to reach, or at least end up. And another is the set of faculties that they have. The broad range, I mean, experiences that they carry along with them, 30, 40 years of experience, alongside teaching as well as being at the C-suite level of all these companies, it definitely makes a difference. And why MSc Finance essentially is it helps you. What I have seen personally with my friends or colleagues is that they go ahead pursue a professional course, let's say a CFA or FRM, which is basically an add-on to what you're doing. But getting a master's in finance course not only helps you to build your profile well from a good reputed college, it not only helps you to build a profile well, but also network with a good set of people, which will become your good friends, your colleagues, or so on and so forth in your future career of in your future life. But also the set of faculties helps you build a better profile again. The variety of um, cases or the opportunities that comes to you being in JPIMS, I think helps a lot. So yeah, I think these are broadly few pointers. Yeah.
And I think, yeah, another very, very unique and a plus point for JBIMS is its location, because if you are in the financial capital and you are right stone throw away from BSES, Bombay Stock Exchange,
I
and
missed that.
yeah,
I missed that.
yeah,
I
you'll
missed
get
it.
all the companies and all the best faculties right there. I mean, they're just there. I mean, it's not like you have to get them from some other city or some other location, and also that itself it gives you such a huge benefit for internship and for placements, because you are right there in the center, in the hub of everything. Yeah, so that's another one. So yeah, so Yash, can you give maybe a few tips on CET prep, and Amol, a few tips on interview tips on for placements or for internship and all that? Yeah,
So
yeah.
most of the tips I've already shared. Like other than that, like for me, it was like at that time my goal was to prepare well for CET and give my best and get into the best. And at that time, or it still is the best is JBIMS through CET. So that was my goal for CET. So what I used to do, like I didn't used to just sit 8 hours a day and study everything. So like it would get very hectic for anyone, for your mind. Like even mentally you will get exhausted and such things will happen. So I just used to sit for 4 hours, give a mock or analyze those. And for the rest of the time, I used to like be involved in my hobbies, go for a walk. I like painting and all, so I do that. You can watch a show. I used to do such things, and don't like just focus solely on covering everything, because your mocks will do that for you. Each and every type of question is there in mocks.
How many mocks one should take, ideally? For CET?
30 plus.
Okay, 30
So
plus.
should be
Okay.
sufficient, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
so that was my strategy for that.
Okay.
And like as I've said, like for my journey in
Hmm.
the whole CET prep. Yeah, like from time to time, I used to give sectional tests just to like see myself section wise how well am I
Hmm.
scoring. But just a month before the exam, I had stopped doing that only on mocks, and like just let's say a week before exam, I had stopped giving mocks as well. Like I had
Okay.
given 2 mocks in that week, and then just going through concepts. If any notes I had written previously, I had to go through. I used to go through that and only used to do that, like
Okay.
not to exhaust myself completely. And just a day before exam, I did nothing. I was
Hmm.
just resting, watching my favorite movie or such things. So
Hmm.
yeah, that was my strategy during that time.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Amok. Yeah. For PI and for profile building, specifically for JB, if you can give a few tips.
Okay, so for PI, I would say for summers placements, as lot of part is already done, you cannot change your
Hmm.
profile as much, but you can add 2-3 part in your CVs is like committees and clubs. You
Okay.
can add that into CV and can improve your chances of getting shortlisted for
Hmm.
summers placements. And for the
Okay.
final placements, you have kind of, let's say, 1 year or 1.5 year before you appear for your final placements.
Hmm.
You can do other certifications or other things or any other skill building courses online. Also, there are a lot of things that are available right now for the
Hmm.
people, and they can
Okay.
do those courses, add them in their final CVs, which then can improve their chances of getting shortlisted into different profiles in the final placements. So one interview tip I would like to give is read your job description thoroughly. Like
Hmm. Yeah.
understand all the details, like whether you want to opt for this role or not. Talk to
Hmm.
the people who are doing that job currently, so you'll get the
Hmm.
idea that what they do in their day-to-day life, and then only decide whether you are opting for that in your Google form or not.
Correct.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
people just mark it, just they just kind of give their preference to it, and then they, when the interview day comes, they are like in shock, like what is this
Yeah.
question and all.
Right.
So just understand the role that you are applying for, I would say.
Okay, yeah, so that's all the time that we have for this session. So thank you all the attendees for all the questions, and my special thanks to all the panelists. Thank you, Yash. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Abhinandan, and thank you, Amol. Thank you so much for all the insights on JBIMS and on CET. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank
Thanks a
you,
lot, Kalyani.
Thanks a
Thank
Thank
you,
lot,
you.
Kalyani, for
Kalyani.
organizing this session. Thank you.
Yeah.
And all the very best to all the aspirants.
Yes,
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
All the best to you all.
yes,
All the
yeah.
best, guys.